Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about the New Gods being canceled. Um, and how I'm just like, that's great. Congratulations. The movie didn't deserve to be made. And before anybody come in there talking about, oh, it's because you want the Snyderverse to continue and all that kind of stuff. First off, of course, I want the Snyderverse to continue because from what I saw in Justice League Snyder Cut version, it looks amazing. But the reason why I'm saying I don't want the New Gods is because I didn't trust the people behind the New Gods. I don't trust WB, who had these movies in development hell for so goddamn long. Why would I trust WB? Number two, Tom King. He he makes these depressing stories that I'm not really into. I don't care what nobody say. I think his Mr. Miracle is trash. I think his Adam Strange is trash. I haven't read his Rorschach. Heroes in Crisis was trash. Batman Catwoman was trash, and his Batman run going up after the lead up to the wedding and after the wedding crap all the way up until issue 100 was trash. Was trash. That run was trash. After that, it was starting to peak a little bit with the war on riddles and jokes. That was already pushing it, but then we really saw his garbage when we got to that wedding. That was garbage. So no, I don't care what nobody say. Don't try to be like, oh, Mr. Miracle was amazing. No, it wasn't. It was depressing bullcrap. The only good thing that I can really give him is the vision. Other than that, there is nothing else critically acclaimed from him that I can be like, yep, I was on board with. Because I'm ready. I'm just like, no, when you keep trying to deconstruct characters over time, over and over and over again, or make it depressing and stuff like that, over and over and over again, at some point, people get tired. I get tired. I'm tired. That's tiresome. I don't want to keep seeing depressing superhero characters. I don't want to see you deconstruct them. I don't want you to put them in deep conversation. I want you to have them as superheroes more so than anything else. You can't even do that right. And you think I'm supposed to trust you writing the New Gods? No way. And then third and lastly, you had Ava DuVernay. Are you guys kidding me? Did we not remember the colossal failure of A Wrinkle in Time, and yet we're going to give Ava DuVernay New Gods? Get the hell out of here with this trash. No, I am so sorry. No way. No, I'm sorry. No. And then they canceled the Trench. Great. That should have been canceled too. I'm sorry. You're gonna spin off crazy little creatures of the night that swims before what? An Aquaman 2? I mean, sure, it was a cool scene where Mira and Arthur had to dive into the water like that, but I don't think it was enough to create an own movie. Maybe like a little special 30-minute little movie or whatever. I'm like, think about it. Who's going to be main character? Who are you going to bring in there that's going to be able to be a focus of the Trench? Because if all you're doing is scaring people, that's great. But what you're going to create these brand new regular characters in the world of DC, and they're going to be attacked one off by the Trench characters, just to one of them finally being saved at last minute by Aquaman. Because you would have to bring in Aquaman or somebody from the other kingdoms to to make that work. Why do I care about a scary fish movie? We get plenty of scary movies. Like, you ain't giving me nothing much to work with there. I just couldn't care less, James Wan. I couldn't care less. Focus on Aquaman 2 and focus on whether Mira's going to be in there or not, because I mean, people really don't like Amber Heard, and I can't blame them. I've been looking at this case too, and I'm just like, oh boy, Warner Brothers, you sure you want to keep keep this character? You sure you want to keep this girl on the roster? All right. I mean, okay, sure, if you say so, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to take that heat like that. Mm-mm. No way. All I'm saying is fair is fair. If you're going to fire Johnny Depp, you need to go ahead and fire her. No matter who's right, who's wrong. If you're going to fire if you got to fire both parties, like it or not. That's all I have to say about that situation. But yeah, the reason I mean, like, let's be honest. Do we really want to see a depressing New Gods from Tom King with Ava DuVernay lousy directing skills? No, I'm sorry, because let's be honest, like, The Wrinkle in Time was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. It was a jumbled, put together movie. Went to go see it, and because I mean, let's be honest, anybody knows that, you know, Wrinkle in Time. I don't know. Wrinkle in Time was a criteria for us to read in school. So of course, when you see this movie, when you see this book, and you see it's supposed to be a movie made out of it, you're like, oh snap, because the little child in you remembers having to read the book. So when you're watching the movie, you're like, what is this? Why are the characters' races changed? What's happening here? What is going on? Why is Oprah giant? Why did what's her darn name? God, I'm drawing a blank on her darn name, but her behind turned into a giant Pokemon leaf thing going on. Just I don't know. That movie was not good. It was not good at all. And it's kind of like, why would I trust her with another budget when she showed that she failed? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You don't reward somebody that failed. That was a major movie picture that she failed. You don't give her another major motion picture. You'd be like, ooh, baby, maybe we might have to build you back up again, because right now that was not the business. That crap that you did was not the business. And I feel like they kind of missed their opportunity anyway with the New Gods, because Zack Snyder was already introducing them in the Justice League. So if you were going to do a New Gods movie, I felt like that could have been something before the Justice League movie. But I already know people have to remember, WB rushed everything. WB wanted all of this catch up to Marvel, got mad that they weren't getting the acclaim that Marvel was getting, and then want to do a hard reset, and then want to try to throw Zack Snyder and David Ayer under the bus for the choices that WB forced them to make. And another thing is, another thing that needs to take responsibility is DC Comic Books. Dan DiDio is the one who came to Warner Brothers and them and was like, hey, let's do a reboot of the DC continuity, and let's do the New 52. The New 52 was a complete overhaul of the characters to where they were completely different, completely darker, made the DC universe darker than what it needed to be, and everything, whatever, and stuff like that. So when people was like, oh, these characters aren't acting like, yes, they are. They're acting exactly how they are in the damn comic books, because the comic books were reset. People seem to forget Man of Steel came out right after they had rebooted the continuity of DC Universe with the New 52. They didn't want the happy-go-lucky Clark Kent at first. They wanted the arrogant jackass Clark Kent who later on learns to become that Superman, because that's what they were trying to do in the New 52. He was an arrogant jackass, but he learns over time to be just a tad bit less jackass. And his parents literally dies early on in his life, so he never got the moral values from his parents, because they died when he was in high school still. So you get what I'm saying? You see how all of that trickles down to Warner Brothers and DC pressing these hard reset buttons and thinking that they were going to get gold just by doing whatever, and thought we were just going to watch it. No, I'm sorry. I don't trust Tom King or Ava with anything at this point. I don't trust them. They haven't earned my trust for me to be like, yeah, this was a good idea. I'm glad they canceled it. The only way New Gods would have worked if you're going to have to get Zack Snyder in it. I'm sorry. You can get mad all you want to, but Zack Snyder pulled off Darkseid, Steppenwolf, Desaad, and Granted Goodness better than what I know what they would have did. Because if you read the Mr. Miracle book from Tom King, you already kind of know how Scott-Free is. And I'm just like, no, sorry, no, this ain't it for me, Chief. This not gonna work for me. And that's the problem. Is we have too many people trying to lead things, and not enough creative folks to push this ship along. And you're wondering why everything is jumbled up, because right now WB really don't have a plan for anything. They're just throwing crap against the wall and was like, let's hopefully this will stick. That's literally what they're doing. They're literally trying to throw everything at the wall and trying to see what will stick, just so they can try to get the same acclaim as Marvel. But my thing is, DC, you never needed to do that. You didn't need to. You had the characters. All you had to do was just have the time, trust the audience, trust the direction the director and the direction that you approved of for the DCEU, and trust me, it would have worked. It would have worked, because to this day, when now people go back and watch Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Cut, they're like, oh, this makes way more sense than the theatrical release, or Zack Snyder's Justice League over Josh Whedon's thing. Oh, this makes more sense. Or the little extended cut of Suicide Squad. Oh, this makes way more sense than the theatrical. You see what I'm saying? WB, you're standing in your own way, to be honest. But what you need somebody who really cares about these comic book characters. You need somebody that really cares about comic books first and foremost. At some point, I think you need to find somebody that's not about Hollywood. Or you need to find a person that's very creative in making movies, but love comic books. You're going to have to find somebody creative, and you got to step off of them. You got to step off of them, because the stuff that you guys approve, that you guys like, Josh Whedon's Justice League, garbage. Wonder Woman 1984, garbage. Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, garbage. You get what I'm saying? The three things that you really wanted for us were garbage. At some point, that got to tell you something. While the stuff that you didn't want to approve, you self-sabotage, or the things that you didn't approve gets more acclaim than the stuff that you did want. That don't make no sense. And it's really crazy. It's really confusing. To be honest, I don't understand what you're not understanding, because you need to do something better than this. But I am glad that you did pump the brakes on New Gods in the Trench. Those ideas weren't good. I didn't like nothing creative that was going on right there at all. Come back to it at a later date or whatever, but at the same time, you probably can't, because you would literally have to move the Snyderverse in order for the New Gods to work, because you couldn't do a new version of Darkseid in them, because everybody's going to be like, wait, what about the character development and changes that Zack Snyder did? You get what I'm saying? So you're going to be in a lose situation right there. So common sense would say, hey, if we're going to do this New Gods movie, we're going to have to follow up with how Zack Snyder did things or whatever. What I would do is you can do a New Gods movie. That's fine, but you would have to follow the formula that was laid out for that Zack Snyder did. But what I would also do is I would probably do a Wonder Woman movie. Wonder Woman 3. Wonder Woman 3 would be like setting up Justice League 2 and 3, I believe. Wonder Woman 3 will also have Batman in it as well. Wonder Woman and Batman will have to deal with some New God stuff, technology or whatever and stuff like that. This would introduce the Amazonian Grail. Grail would be like the caveat of Darkseid coming to the Armada or whatever. And then towards the end of Wonder Woman 3, after she defeats Grail and, send her over to Themyscira, because she'll be able to return to Themyscira finally, you'll see Scott Big Barter and Orion comes and with a message for Wonder Woman and tell her that Darkseid is still coming. And then you can do another DC character movie. I don't know, but slowly setting it up, and then after that, you can probably do the New Gods movie where you set up Orion, Scott Free, and Big Barter as the heroes dealing with the issues that's going on with Darkseid, which would have them leave Apocalypse, which will lead for which will be that setup that they set up in Wonder Woman 3, which can also lead into Justice League 2 and 3 or whatever, however you want to do it. But I'm just saying you kind of need to have a cohesion story if you want to set that up, because you're going to have to set that up. You can't just do that movie. That's all I'm saying. You can't just do that movie and think people are going to be okay with that. Setup is what you need to do. Setup, storytelling, continuation, built up. That's what you need. That's how you can do that, DC. I'm telling you. You may not like Snyder, but right now, he's the only one in your crew that got a plan when you guys really don't. Name one person in DC Films and Warner Brothers that literally has a plan of what they want to do. Exactly, crickets, because they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. They're just throwing things together in the wall, and that's really sad because DC have these Warner Brothers have these amazing properties that they're just like, letting them turn into dust or whatever because they keep panicking about stuff or not fully committing to what they're doing. If you're going to fully commit, fully commit. Don't always. You don't have to always listen to criticism, but if you hire somebody for their work, trust their work. That's all I'm saying. Trust their work. I'm not saying you can't interfere a little bit, but make sure that it's on par with what you want to do or whatever, and stop trying to not put in characters or whatever just because you want to try to save them up for a movie that might or might not come. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are my thoughts about the whole New Gods Trench movie being canceled. Like I said, I'm glad they're canceled. I'm glad they're shelved, because they just weren't good ideas, to be honest. Not right now, anyway. And not without a person that can plan things out. Until they can find a person that can plan this DCEU stuff, this DC film movies, the live action stuff, I don't know. I don't really know. At this point, I kind of want WB to lose all their rights to DC, to be honest. I really do. Because it just doesn't seem like the people that are in charge of Warner Brothers really care about making things creative. They only care about making money. And if they and messaging. If they really cared about making money, they will actually listen to what their audience is saying, what their audiences want, and stop trying to self-sabotage themselves. They're their biggest issue. That's just real talk. But anyway, I don't want to keep you guys long. But yeah, those are my quick thoughts about the whole DC New Gods and Trench movie being canceled. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.